the guru of Squad Double Zero, the assassin like no other. Yes, I'm the best at what I do. One of the most notorious in YouTube anime manga community. Don't doubt me, please. It's here to bring you that monster live review for chapter 2. Now, okay. This review was gonna come back like in July because I was waiting for Monster. I saw the people were hyping up the one shot. I read that joint. That joint was fire. Okay, and I'll get more into my actual thoughts on the series in a second. At least the initial thoughts. But what happened was I couldn't find chapters. I was pissed, so I left it. We go months down the line, 7-8 months, and I was alerted by Northside. They shout out to Northside Squad Double Zero. Puts in mad work. Check out his content. Live reaction king. Okay, live stream king. King of the live streams, king of the live reactions. But anyways. So I was like, what? And then so I looked it up. Found chapter 2 and 3. I don't know what the hell took so long, but you know, it is what it is. So we in here now. And so I did look a little bit ahead. I ain't gonna front it because I had to remind myself. I had to look a little bit back at the first chapter. I can't say the one chapter. You can say the pilot chapter, whatever. But anyways, gotta love this artwork. But I'll get more towards the. You gotta see that for yourself. But anyways, what happened? What are my thoughts? First of all, I got the vibe, the atmosphere of the manga is that of Hunter. That Hunter greatness in Shingeki no Kyojin. It was like a mix of. I like this whole concept of the bringers. I think it's gonna focus more on hunting than actual Hunter. I mean, I love me some Hunter, but where's the actual hunting? You feel what I'm saying? So we see a very strong. I'm not sure if he's the protagonist or protagonist. The bringer dude, okay, the one that had the sword and who was clobbering dude. I like the realism of it. This whole golden age in the past, in the introduction and the setting of the story, it's phenomenally done. You have this possible protagonist, this one dude who, as you will see, a Nito professional bum. Okay, that's what you want. He mooching off his mom for real. This dude's in like his 20s. Come on, bro, get your act together. But he don't care. You know, he's looking up porn and all this kind of stuff, just bumming all. They drinking his money away. But come on, dog, get your act together. And it's like, yo, dreams and all that. It sounds good and dandy, but say that he's lost. He's become a bit jaded, not completely, but a bit jaded towards the world. I mean, he was inspired by the swordsman, but nah, about this. But I do love the beast. And one thing I will say, okay, I'll save it for page 2 because I read it and I completely agree with it. Once upon a time, it's got that fairy tale fantasy element to it. The world was dominated by monsters. To survive, mankind endlessly fought back against the monsters' dominion. And now, a few hundred years later, yo, that mask is about that. Yo, this artwork is about that life, man. Come on. Phenomenally done. Phenomenally done. Okay. Oh, okay, it's not page 2. It's a little bit later. The second chapter is called Tears of Resolution. Okay. It's almost got a MMO. If you're on an online game, multiple, player online games like WoW, World of Warcraft, you'll get the drift. Yo, look at the red blade, bro. Oh, the blood saber. That blood saber. Half French fans. If any of you out there and watching this video, you know what time it is with Prince. Come on, man. But by the way, it's 10th favorite manga of all time currently. It's Chinese manga. What cut through overwhelming monsters that which carried the world? Man, the strike of a blade. It's a great monster hunting era. The fight against the monsters turned into a hunt. Makes perfect sense. Yo, this art's on point. And now we go to the black and white. Monsters became commodities. I've been reading verbatim everything so far. Their horns and teeth weapons that gave strength to man. Now this is very interesting, very interesting, very factually based actually in the historical way. Now how in the world did they actually take them down? Strategy. They used a lot of thoughts, a lot of ingenuity, a lot of various factors to be able to take these down. And once they took down, quote unquote, the monsters, the beasts, this is how I believe actual dragons and whatnot. And I can get into that in my whole thoughts of dragons and the various extinctions of species. But how they actually took down these giant reptilian creatures, for example, these giant mammals, they had to do what they had to do to survive. And once they took them down, now sometimes they hunted at them. They hunted them too much, but once they took them down, they forged phenomenal weapons, or better weapons. They actually forged tools to be able to kill, pretty much. Their meat and fur, luxuries that improve the quality of life. Another very factually, historically based thing. The meat. Okay, number one, meat. People who this whole vegetarian vegan thing don't understand. Historically, meat was one of the primary things. Hunter-gatherers. Because before the agricultural revolution that happened around, I don't know if it was 10,000 or if it was 10,000 BC. I think it was around 10,000 BC where farming took place. A lot of groups were very nomadic. So even before the modern nomads, having cattle and grazing and all that kind of jazz, groups were nomadic. They had to do what they had to do to survive. And what better way than grabbing meat through hunting? Okay. Now, and it's high carbs, it's high, but it made it very hard. That's part of the reason why there were limited numbers of people. Vegetable, like a lot of being able to sustain was not there from vegetation. Number one, you didn't know it was poison. A lot of times you didn't know it was poison. Let's be real. If you're thrown out into the wild, how do you know what you can and can't? I mean, some things look good and edible, but other things are questionable. And a lot of times, I'm sorry, you can't just live off of berries and stuff. Ask Lord of the Flies about that. Phenomenally done work, by the way. So, meat was high carbs, high protein. A lot of the basic essentials. Now, it's not all. And meat includes fish and whatnot. Okay, so, and I'm not just saying be a carnivore. No. What I'm saying is it was a primary staple back in the day, especially during eras like an Ice Age. Okay, and fur. Come on. Not only was it clothing, which is protection from wind and weather. Okay, climate and all that. You can use furs on housing and whatever to make tents and other factors along those lines. You can tan them in the sun, you can make leather, you can make a lot of things with furs. Furs, luxury items as we see today. Well, we got these faux furs or whatever, these fake furs, but still, you catch my drift. The various tools that were made by utilizing the monster's unique properties, the needs and wants of men were fulfilled. So it had everything. One man should have all this power. Nope. But the hunters, they became, this is kind of similar to the Bishokia, the Bishokia era in Toriko, where you have the Bishokia, the food hunters, the gourmet hunters. They went out and made the gourmet era possible. Even though the chefs, if you know Toriko, the chefs were the most valuable ones because they had to prepare these high quality ingredients. The Bishokia were essential because they were the ones to provide the ingredients. So in the same way, the bringers were essential. The hunters. In this era full of dreams, the hero of our story is hero. Sometimes heroes used too casual, but full of dreams. We use them One Piece One Piece greatness. But era filled with dreams. And it makes sense that they actually say that if you think about it. At first it's like, what? Dreams? Well, if you think about this logically, because of the savage world in which they live in, many people, I'm guaranteeing, died. I mean, people got skilled, and like we see the swordsman, but pretty sure many people died in the process of this. In this romantic, not romantic in the sense of loving kind of thing, but romantic in the sense of the world of romantic fantasy, where great adventures, adventure stories, high fantasy, that kind of jazz. I love you all the time. That's cool. Alright, our hero occupation, Nito. He's, like I said, he's a professional bum. He's looking at the dating simulation. Calls it boring. Oh, okay, so it's not porn this time. It's one of those, like, kind of similar to what we have with webcam now. Now look at the lifestyle that they use. This is on that kind of questionable Naruto level technology, crossover world with the technology. But it is kind of like a frog kind of thing. Could have better stories. He's at home playing games. Told y'all he's in that video game player, not professional, not like, you know, just the do nothing video game player. Nothing wrong with video games. I love me some video games as well, but he's the do nothing video game player. Mama's saying you better wake up today. You getting a job, boy. Boy, if you don't get out there, son, we're gonna have some problems. She already put a knife to him in the previous chapter. It's the same thing that happens at last movie War of Pain. Yo, this mom don't play games. Mom, today's Sunday. Let me get a bit of rest. She does the face slap. This is classic. What you talking about? All you do is rest every day. Every day, every day. Something about this dude's hair though still gets me up. I'm talking about this. Okay? This still throws me off. What is going on here? What is that? What is that, man? Lame? That's a fool. You see he has beard. Okay, come on, bro. Get your act together. You don't have to go to employment agency. I already found a new place to work. Ooh, shots fired. What is that? Nothing you can say. Mom's a little desperate. What's so funny about it is you, stupid son of mine. Okay, I get it, thanks. Not feeling good today, so I'll go tomorrow. Oh, okay. Really. You gonna try that? You gonna go in here? Alright, there's a new tomorrow. You see that blade though? You see that blade? You gotta calm yourself down. Hey, what's up? Where did she get the blades? Them knives. Ooh, look at that old man. When y'all see somebody like that, you know he's about that life. Does somebody know it? Character designs matter, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even want to work. Man, what are you willing for real? He wants the easy. He wants everything to be handed to him on a silver platter, Mr. Entitlement. You are sloth itself. You are laziness and money. Hi there. Okay, she's cute. Thank you. I believe she's one of the bringers. She wants to see the whole hill. He must be going to work. Yeah, she's cute, that's what I said. Have a good day. Long black hair, totally his type. Ooh. Fantasies becoming reality. Oh Jesus, dude is so. This is funny. retarded or anything. Oh man. Big Splash launched his career in the workplace. And you still never know. So he has these doubts. 29 years old. Oh boy. Problems. He's 29. He's older than I thought he was. He's in his late 20s. Wow. From your resume, you have done nothing since you graduated. Or at least you graduated high school. Or whatever the equivalent of high school is in our world. The reason for this? Well, a lot of things happen. Yeah, you've done nothing. How is his mom allowed him to do nothing for all this time? You know what? I ain't gonna say anything. I'm not gonna say anything. Things you can't write down on a resume. Most people get a haircut before coming to an interview. Ooh. So I forget what I want you in a career. I'm not even gonna get hired. Get started immediately. I'm grateful to your mother. His mother begged plenty of times. You need that foot in the door, man. Need a connection. Yo, he's shocked. He's like, what? In love with a mother, baby. I'm liking this. Ooh, looks like a big stable. Barn area. That's a big old door. Storehouse. A monster coop? Did you know? A Maotashidori? Interesting, these forehead thingies. Sorry, thingies not very descriptive, but I don't know what to just call it. Something you embed it with an illuminating frog and fiddle with it. Becomes a beast tool. Can record images and like. Okay. These tools utilizes the ability made from the properties of monsters. Now, something that I meant to say earlier. Speaking of monsters, it said that he's the actual monster in a world full of beasts. Take that for what it's worth. And it caught my eye. It's a very interesting thought. He has one as well. It only contains games and porn. Okay. Alright. We got that there. This guy's horns make for some great swords. How did they capture it? Don't get too close. One bite, bam. Close your arm. You'll be getting that long treatment. Talk about Trafalgar Law from One Piece. They use this Captain Kidd treatment. They losing them limbs. That Shanks treatment. Okay, even though Shanks did it voluntarily. Red head Shanks. Ooh. Stiff heavy arm. Yo. Used to be the stick. Yo. That's legit. Yo, for real. Oh, fool. Alright, we've seen a more classical armor. Yo. They didn't play games. That's the fashion. That's what I say. Some thin but tough material in the trade routes. Should be able to make that sort of car. Alright, he's scanning in order to make. We're getting a bit. I like this because it's a good introduction to the brain world without us just, being thrown right in. Removing the scales used in the children. This is looking like a gator or crocodile. Yeah, this is a gator. You're saying crocodile. It's an alligator. Look at it. Wait, look at the blades. Milk Snafe, anybody? If you're a Torkoal fan? Yeah. he's scared of the bug, man. Throwing it back. He's like, what is that? What is that thing? The thing's still alive. Dude's like, what if crows? What you think? Once it's dead, its skin is, the body hardens and it's harder to scale. Serious business. He hates monsters. Makes perfect sense. Throws back to his childhood. No, you're not the only person that wishes monsters would disappear. Just go ahead and do it. That's right. Just touch it. Face your fear. Okay, so switch jobs. Now he's a salesman. Probably. He's faced with a job that he's legitimately terrified of, but it's like his only shot. So it's a good one. And there she goes. Told you she's a bringer. I remember. And we meet again. It's not a coincidence. Most highly believes me when fantasies come true. Oh, secure your future wealth. Dude, you're doing too much. Going to pick up my repair sword. Here's our receipt. Oh, I know something interesting. I wonder which land she originates from, because you see the flower there. Seems either southern or eastern. Swords heavy. We'll bring it up. Ooh, tricks and fluff. Mythical figure. And he pulls down her skirt, and there goes her panties. Ooh, is he about to get stabbed or yeah? Don't tell me he just picked open and walked. And he's fired. You sucker for real. He buys a beer, it seems like. Reality really sucks. Like, me becoming the world's greatest. And there she goes again. use the power of alcohol. Hit him in the face a lot of times, even when he was down on that. Show you movie. Get lost. Pay for my hospital fee. It's your fault you assaulted me. Show the hoop of the star. No way I would let it go. Consider yourself lucky you were injured. Have it. Don't look down on me. Don't touch me. Bam! With the right hook, bruh. Send them flying. So weak. But you can't just go. Well, she did touch it, but you can't just go around just hitting people. Resume a blank sheet of paper. She was ashamed of it. That age-old man. 29, childless. Life is over. What's wrong with that? 15 years of unemployment under my belt. You have a problem with that? You're actually serious. Doing nothing is error of dreams. There's no meaning to your life? That's the question I asked, I think, originally. Call yourself a man and say, take a hold of success with your own two hands. Yeah, it sounds good. Hard to do. Life is over. Not something you decided for yourself. Don't make a man cry. Slow motion. And there it goes. I knew it, got him locked. That's a pretty good size creature, I must say. She's surprised. She goes into action. Okay. Decent cut. She's a princess? If you were following me, you could have helped. Her level of skill. Seems like some bodyguard on show, Vulnerable daughter of Aslan. Chronicles of Narnia. Any of you Narnia fans out there? Oh, come on. Sharnimania Askindete, Lord's daughter. She's gonna get arrested. The tears of anger. Good luck, mister. Let's go. Let me see the carriage for real, though. That's that every man, every deed. That's that every man walk right there. I think I'm almost done with the chopping. And that's that every man sit right there. He ain't hard working yet, but air of dreams. successful hunter, sometimes you need encouragement and encounter, faithful encounter. Sundre princess, okay. That's the look of determination of a man right here. Okay, alright. He's still not about it. Laura's daughter sounds too much of a hassle. At least he's keeping it real. Sundre ain't really gonna tell you. Dreamlike fantasy. Living a dreamlike fantasy. This is interesting. Very interesting. You rarely see that happen. Okay. Yeah, that was the end of the chapter right there. Very interesting chapter. It's a phenomenal introduction into later parts of the series, okay? We get to learn about the armor, about the weapons, introduced to an important character in the series. We've seen 2 now. And this dude, the protagonist, I guess he's confirmed the protagonist now. This dude wants to be part of that life, but he doesn't see it. You don't really get many protagonists like this guy, and still have a good story. So we'll see how he develops. It's still very early in the story, but I'm very much enjoying it. I thought the chapter, the plot progression was on point. I'm not just gonna jump out and be. No, it didn't go that route. Good, because that's different than a lot of other stories do. The strong-willed protagonist. No, we didn't get that either, which is good. It's different. It's unique. It's using a lot of old aspects and bringing it fresh and new in a different way, mixing technology with an ancient hint to it. So it's very good on the fantasy department. Very good in somewhat of a historical based fiction. Somewhat. Overall, that was a phenomenal chapter. I'd say a 9 out of 10. The reason I don't rank it a bit higher is because while there was some plot progression, it wasn't mind-blowing of significance, but it was a phenomenal setup. It was a phenomenal introduction once again. Introduced us to more of the world. It did its job well, but he didn't do its job exquisitely. Besides plot progression, we only got a little bit more of his characterization and character development. Only a little bit. We didn't get much from the princess either, so, and we didn't see the other bringer again. We'll see what happens next time. The next chapter. Unexpected Wonderland, come subscribe. Tell me your thoughts on the chapter. Until next time, y'all have a beautiful day.